everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to the WWE 2K15 Universe Mode, and this, which is our next episode of WWE Monday Night Raw. And as you can see, we're into September now. So let's have a quick look at the card I've got set for you this evening. We're going to start things off with Sasha Banks taking on Becky Lynch. Our second match, I will explain this a bit more later on, is going to be Batista Vs Ryback. This is going to be an Armageddon, a Hell in a Cell qualifying match. Of course, John Cena is going to defend his championship in a 6-man Hell in a Cell at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. And yeah, this is a qualifying match. Either Batista or Ryback will go on into that match. As is this one, Randy Orton versus Mark Henry. The winner will go on into that Hell in a Cell match as well. We're going to see Cody Rhodes taking on Damien Sandow. Chris Jericho is going to face off against Sheamus in an Extreme Rules match. And our main event sees Kevin Owens try and get some retribution against Bad News Barrett, who attacked him last night at the Night of Champions pay-per-view. So without further ado, let's get straight into our first match. And as I said, our first match will be Sasha Banks taking on Becky Lynch. And here we go. And both these girls had a great night last night at the Night of Champions. Of course, Sasha Banks won that fatal 4-way elimination match against Charlotte, Bayley and Natalya. Becky Lynch put in a fantastic performance, however, was unable to defeat Paige for the Women's Championship, but again, really did show the ability and skill she has. This match here between these two is definitely going to have some more implications in the women's title picture. Both these girls, fantastic competitors, and my favourite two divas from the Divas Revolution as well. Actually, Becky throwing Sasha into the corner, comes across to follow up, but Sasha was there waiting for her, and a monkey flip out the corner by Sasha Banks. Beautiful move. And of course, as I just said, we are building up now to our Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. As I just mentioned while we're going through the card, we are going to have a 6-man Hell in a Cell match. John Cena will be defending his World Heavyweight Championship against 5 other guys. We'll find out who 2 of them will be this evening. Of course, we're going to have Randy Orton versus Mark Henry and Ryback versus Batista. So no matter who wins those matches, it's going to be very, very difficult for John Cena. Sasha Banks now twists the arm of Becky Lynch, but Becky comes back with that headlock. And of course, also this evening in our main event, we're going to see Bad News Barrett facing off against Kevin Owens. It was Bad News Barrett who attacked Owens before the United States Championship match last night at Night of Champions. This led to Owens not being able to compete in that match, and Bad News Barrett taking his place. Bad News Barrett was unable to win the championship. It was won, of course, by Neville. However, tonight Kevin Owens wants retribution against Bad News Barrett, and he's going to get that in an Extreme Rules match. Spinning boot there by Becky Lynch on Sasha Banks. Now catches over the hip toss as well. Big, big clothesline by Sasha Banks. Well, I think Sasha Banks is probably the best female wrestler WWE have got at the moment. She has put on some absolutely incredible matches. I think she's put on a great match at all of the last few NXT TakeOver events. I think she had she had the Iron Woman match with Bayley recently. She had the match with Bayley at Brooklyn as well. She had a match with Becky Lynch. I think she had fatal 4-way matches. She's been absolutely incredible. She really knows how to tell a story in the ring, and just puts on some incredible matches for her. So hopefully we'll get a chance to see a bit more of that in the actual main roster in WWE pretty soon. I'm hoping they're going to start to break up some more of these little factions pretty soon, just so we can see all of the girls going at it against each other, rather than being stuck in all their little friendships and bits and bobs like that. Sasha now, big boot to the side of the head of Becky Lynch, who drops like a sack of potatoes, which is not an Irish joke, I promise. Sasha with a pin, 1, 2, and 3, and Sasha Banks again picks up another impressive victory, this time over Becky Lynch, and surely these are victories that Sasha's been picking up has got to put her in great stead here for a championship shot against Paige pretty soon. Whether that be at Hell in a Cell or maybe even sooner, we'll have to wait and see. This is the big kick to the side of the head which finished Becky Lynch off. Sasha pulled her into the middle of the ring and gets the 3 count. So another great win here for Sasha Banks. Referee raises her arm, and rightly so. She's deserved this victory here this evening. Builds upon the momentum she gained last night in that fatal 4-way match. And Sasha must be a real threat now to Paige's Women's Championship. quite a revealing top, that one, isn't it? I don't know if it's meant to look like that, but either way. I'm not perving on a computer character, I promise. And our second match here this evening is the first of our Armageddon Hell in a Cell qualifier matches as Batista takes on Ryback. And here we go. Two very similar guys here, both big, strong guys. And no matter who wins here, I think it's going to be very, very difficult for Cena to defend his championship at Hell in a Cell. Of course, he's defending it against 5 other guys locked inside that cell. It's not going to be pretty for John Cena. He's held that belt on and off now for almost the whole universe mode. And I think he's going to struggle at Hell in a Cell to keep a hold of it. Ryback just launching Batista into the corner. Batista back up, but Ryback with a Fez press. And of course we have one more qualifying match for you as well this evening. It's our next match. It's Randy Orton taking on Mark Henry. Ryback just slamming the head of Batista. We're not seeing much of Batista in the last few months. Not since Extreme Rules, I don't think, where he's in a big fatal 4-way elimination match. I think that was finally won by Roman Reigns. That was a good few months ago. And of course, as I mentioned, next year on our Universe mode, we are going to have the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship separately. That's going to allow us to use a lot more top guys a bit more often. It's one of the main problems we've got at the moment, is we've just got so many people on the roster, it's difficult to use them all. Of course, WWE have got Raw, they've got SmackDown, they've got Superstars, Main Event, NXT. They can use all their guys on all these different plethora of shows, whereas we have just the one weekly show here for WWE. And yeah, it's been difficult to try and vary it as much as possible. Of course, I have my favourite guys, so I tend to use a bit more than others. But trying to use some of the other guys, and by having the extra championship there, I think it's definitely gonna help us do that. We're also gonna have the Cruiserweight Championship back in the current day roster next year as well. We've got guys like Kalisto, Sin Cara, Neville, even the likes of Heath Slater could be involved. We've got Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, so that's going to be an interesting addition into the Universe mode. Batista there now just pushing the knee into the face of Ryback. Ryback makes way back up to his feet and Batista's there. And catches him in that spinning sidewalk slam. Reminiscent of Abyss's Black Hole Slam. Armbreaker there by Ryback. Still trying to come back into this match. Building some momentum. Belly to back slam by Ryback. Pulling Batista back into the middle of the ring. Rolls him over. One. Only a 1 count. Batista still in this one. Batista knows how important this match is. Well, they both do. They both have not had a lot of exposure in this Universe mode. So they know by winning this match here this evening, that guarantees them a main event slot at our next pay-per-view in 4 weeks' time. Hell in a Cell. Of course, probably won't be 4 weeks' time. We're going to try and speed everything up a bit more. 2K16 comes out in 3 weeks' time, so hopefully we're going to try and get... I can't believe I'm running out of time here, I think, but I'm going to try and get everything uploaded before 2K16 comes out. There's a double arm choke there, slamming Ryback down by Batista. And of course, as some of these brands start to come to an end, it's going to become quicker and easier for us to upload footage. Of course, this week will be our last 2 episodes of Retro. We'll have our normal Thursday night episode, and of course Sunday will be our big pay-per-view, and that will be all from Retro. So of course, as brands start to disappear, it's going to make it a bit easier for us to, and a bit quicker for us to upload the videos. So that last 4 weeks, of course we've got 8 weeks left in this Universe mode now. We've got this month and next month as well. And yeah, that last 4 weeks should be very, very quick, because we're going to go into it with 4 brands. We're going to only have 3 left by the end of the first week. Batista with a big close on the outside. Now launches Ryback back into the ring. Yeah, I think that last month, we'll get that entire last month uploaded in a week, I think. If I try and plan it out by saying we'll have 2 weeks of footage, we'll have a month of footage uploaded in the next 2 weeks. That's my plan. And then a month of footage released in the last week as well. That should see it pretty smooth. I'm hoping I get a chance to record all that because it is taking me a long time. This is Sunday I'm recording this video now. I've been doing nothing but recording since 10 o'clock this morning. I've got 6 episodes done. As Ryback takes Batista up on his shoulders, marching around, and there's the shell shock. And Batista could be shell shocked here. Ryback pulling Batista into the middle of the ring, going to go for a pin. 1, 2, and 3, and Ryback is going on to the Hell in a Cell match at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view for the World Heavyweight Championship. There's that double-handed choke by Batista, and he will be disappointed. He was hoping for a big victory here this evening. There's the shell shock. That's what finally finished Batista off. Ryback put him into the middle of the ring, and the 1, the 2, and the 3 count. So now we know... Well, that was pretty close up to his face, wasn't it? Now we know that Ryback will be the first of the 5 challengers for John Cena's World Heavyweight Championship at Night of Champions in 4 weeks' time. Who else will be locked inside that cell? We'll find out one of them in our next match. But Cena's going to have to be worried here. Ryback is a big, strong man, and just think of the damage he could do in the confines of the Hell in a Cell. And our next match here this evening is the second of our Armageddon Hell in a Cell qualifier matches as Randy Orton faces off against Mark Henry. And here we go. Who will be joining John Cena and Ryback locked inside the Hell in a Cell in 4 weeks' time for that World Heavyweight Championship? We'll find out here. It's going to be interesting. Again, Mark Henry, not someone who's had a lot of opportunities in this universe mode. However, tonight is his opportunity, and can he really will he be able to take advantage of that? Randy Orton, of course, has been in and out. He's been most recently in a feud with Seth Rollins a couple of months ago now. He was in a feud with Roman Reigns the month before, so he was quite heavily involved early on. Not seen much of him over the last month or so. So tonight is his chance to really cement himself. Great tilt-a-whirl slam there by Mark Henry, and he's desperate to get himself an opportunity in that cell for the World Heavyweight Championship. And Cena must be, well, it's not a good situation for Cena no matter who wins this match. He knows he's already got the big man Ryback locked inside that cage. He can do some serious damage without a cage, let alone with it. He's going to either end up with the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, who could literally rip the sides of that cage off, or the vicious viper known as Randy Orton. Randy gets on the back of Mark Henry now, and front chancery. There's the uppercut, and a big elbow to the face of Mark Henry, and there's a second elbow to the face of Henry again. Randy Orton went for the dropkick there, but Mark Henry just slaps it away. And now Randy Orton mounting Henry with a punches to the face and another big knee to the face again. Randy really working on that head of Mark Henry. Henry that back elbow though, trying to regain some momentum and just pouncing Randy Orton across the ring. Mark Henry stomping on the inside of the leg of Orton, brings him back up to his feet, and now gorilla press, but Randy Orton gets back up on his feet and drops Mark Henry with a DDT. Henry back up on his feet now, pushing Randy Orton away. Orton with the strikes. Mark Henry catches him, and there's a big headbutt taking Orton down. Orton fights Henry away. Drop kick by Orton again, avoided by Henry, just slapping him out of the air. And continuing the assault on the grounded Orton, but Orton gets back up to his feet. And again, another Fez press by Orton. Seems to be going back to that move whenever he can. It seems to be quite effective. Now slamming the arm of Mark Henry into the mat as well. It's a clever idea because that's gonna reduce the strength that Mark Henry has by taking out his arms. And Randy Orton here taking the top off the announce table. What's Randy got planned? Randy has Mark Henry up against the announce table now. Brings him up onto the announce table, and oh, what is Randy going for here? Up on the turnbuckle. Randy Orton, flying elbow. Oh, oh my word. Randy Orton with the elbow drop off the top of the turnbuckle, putting Mark Henry through the announce table. And what a suicidal move there by Mark Henry. He's done by Randy Orton. He's done some damage to Mark Henry. Don't get me wrong, but how much damage has he done to himself? Mark Henry now with the ring steps, realizing that he could get disqualified for using them. Referee letting this match continue on. Maybe Randy Orton should have been disqualified there, but the match continues, and Mark Henry now back up on his feet, assaulting Randy Orton on the outside. But Orton coming back into it now. Both guys blocking punches, and there's Orton now with an RKO on the outside as well. Damage done to Mark Henry. And now there's that big backbreaker. And surely Mark Henry's going to get counted out here. There's no way he's going to make it back in the ring before the 10 count. The referee's being really lenient with his count here. He's allowing it to go. Oh, Mark Henry does make it back in the ring. And now Randy Orton locking in the abdominal stretch, and surely Mark Henry can't last through this. The amount of damage he's taken on the outside, especially being put through the announce table. Whenever Mark Henry does, he manages to hip toss Randy Orton. And now what's Henry signaling for here? Orton back up on his feet, and now Henry takes Randy Orton up. And there's the world's strongest slam. Mark Henry might have this one here, you know. Out of nowhere, Henry back in the ring with the world's strongest slam. Oh, and Randy Orton kicks out. I thought that was all, I really did. Mark Henry's taken a lot of damage in this match, but managed to catch Randy Orton with the world's strongest slam out of nowhere. Randy's back up to his feet now, and of course, see Mark Henry, he is busted open. He's bleeding in the ring there heavily. Now Henry, the big splash in for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, and again, Randy Orton managed to kick out at the last second. And Mark Henry continues his assault, and seems with the damage here that Randy Orton's done seems to have just boosted Mark Henry's anger, shall we say. Henry bringing Orton back up, and Orton now with a back elbow. Orton with a headlock on Mark Henry and takes him up, and there's a scoop slam. And now Orton, what's he got planned here? Another double knee to the head, and we've seen him work on that head, and eventually it took his toll. As Mark Henry's now busted open, a loss of blood. Is this going to affect him? 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Mark Henry's still in this one, and this has been an incredible match. A lot better than what I was expecting, I must admit. Raked to the eyes by Randy Orton, and a huge clothesline. Taking Mark Henry almost out of his boots, and now again Orton lining up another knee drop to the head of Mark Henry. Just working on that open wound. Orton now with the drop kick, taking Henry back down, putting him into the middle of the ring, and has he done enough damage here to finish Henry off? 1, 2. Ah, so close to a 3 count. Henry can't have much left in the tank now. There he is, tripping Orton. Orton manages to fight Henry away. Orton turns Mark Henry around. What's he got planned here? And spins him again, and now, oh, Randy Orton has Henry draped across that middle rope. And there's that DDT. And I think that's going to be all, surely. Randy Orton pulling Henry into the middle of the ring. I think the damage has been done. 1, 2, and it's not a free. How is that not a free there? The assisted insult to injury. The assisted DDT from the middle rope by Randy Orton, only for a 2 count, but surely hitting the RKO, and it is. There's the 3 count. Randy Orton had to do a hell of a lot of damage to Mark Henry, and Randy Orton just showing how much damage he will do in a singles match that's the disqualifications are involved in. There's the elbow drop through the announce table from the top rope, and Randy showing what he's willing to do here on Monday Night Raw. What's he going to be willing to do inside that Hell in a Cell, especially when the World Heavyweight Championship is up for grabs? And there's this second RKO which finished off Mark Henry. And the 3 count. So as we said, Randy Orton here is going on to join John Cena and Ryback inside that Hell in a Cell structure. We still have 3 more people to find out. Of course, we'll be finding them out over the next couple of weeks. I should imagine we'll have another 2 qualifying matches next week, and then the one final qualifying match on week number 3 of this month. Sorry to be coughing now, I've lost my voice. Randy Orton's won! Yay! I think I'm back. And our next match here this evening will be Cody Rhodes taking on Damien Sandow. And here we go, and this is one of the feuds we're gonna go into Hell in a Cell with, and of course I've had to try and avoid all the top stars because they're all going to be involved. Well, 6 of them are going to be involved in the Hell in a Cell match. So I've had to avoid quite a few people, but that still means we can put on some pretty decent feuds, and it's nice to see, as we say, a bit of variation. Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow, 2 guys that haven't had a lot of opportunities. Of course, Damien Sandow did fight Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship a few months back, unsuccessfully, of course. But now these 2 guys are going to get a bit more of a showcase over the next month, showing what they can do. Neckbreaker there by Cody Rhodes on Damien Sandow. Sandow back up to his feet, but Rhodes with that punch to the back. Went for the dropkick, but Sandow avoids it. Now Sandow throwing Rhodes into the corner. Rhodes comes bouncing back. Sandow brings Rhodes back up to his feet, now twisting the arm. And of course these 2 guys did used to be in a tag team as the Rhodes Scholars. Quite a good tag team actually, I quite enjoyed them. And I think they had a fantastic opportunity, WWE, to have an incredible feud between these 2. After Cody Rhodes won the Money in the Bank briefcase, I think they really had a great chance, but they dropped the ball with it really. They had a little bit of a feud, but it wasn't as much as what it really could have been. We could have had some fantastic matches between these 2, but they I don't know, they sort of went there. That's right, it was the way around, wasn't it? Damien Sandow won the Money in the Bank, sorry. And then became only the 2nd person ever to not cash it in successfully when he was defeated, of course, by the gold digger himself, John Cena. Dropkick there by Cody Rhodes into the corner. Now Rhodes with that super bulldog, should we call it, off the middle rope. What's Rhodes going for here again? Another knee drop to the face of Damien Sandow. Brings Sandow back up to his feet. Sandow with a headlock now on Cody Rhodes, but Cody brings him back, and there's that drop toe hold. Cody now with a couple of punches to the face of Damien Sandow. Brings him back up to his feet. And there's that DDT. Quite an aggressive DDT on Damien Sandow as well. Rolls him over. And locking in a submission, now has the arm wrenched beneath his legs and now pulling back at the neck. Sandow's feet are very close to the ropes. He can probably hook one. If he just stretches one of his legs backwards, he'd probably get the rope break. But Cody Rhodes breaks the submission hold. And now Cody. There's the Alabama Slam. And this could be all here over Damien Sandow. Cody pulling him into the middle of the ring. Going for the pin. 1, 2... And if it is, Cody Rhodes picks up the victory here over Damien Sandow via the Alabama Slam. Quite a quick match this one. Weren't expecting it to finish so quickly. There's the DDT, and here's the Alabama Slam. She just hoisting Sandow up and slamming him down. Pulls him back into the middle of the ring and goes to the pin for the 1, the 2, and the 3. Great win here for Cody Rhodes, and offering his hand out to his former tag team partner Damien Sandow. Sandow's not happy at all. Slaps that hand away. Showing there is heat between these 2. And our next match here this evening will be Chris Jericho taking on Sheamus in an Extreme Rules match. And here we go, another couple of guys that will be feuding all the way up to Hell in a Cell here. Interesting little combination here, of course. Never realised how much bigger Sheamus is than Chris Jericho. Never realised how much paler Sheamus is to Chris Jericho as well. Of course, another situation where neither of these guys will be involved in the Hell in a Cell, so decided to put them together in a feud. Sheamus is someone I don't really use at all in Universe mode, and So it'd be nice to see him a bit more. And of course Jericho we haven't used at all since the first couple of months when he was feuding against Dolph Ziggler for that Intercontinental Championship. So both guys are getting a bit of a reuse here, and that just freshens up the universe mode a bit every now and again, just to use some different guys. Sheamus now dropping his body weight on the inside of the knee of Chris Jericho. And of course, remember, this is an Extreme Rules match, so no disqualifications, no countouts, but all pins and submissions must take place within the confines of the ring. And I shan't think it'll be long until we see some weaponry in this match at all. Jericho now with a punt to the back of Sheamus, now stamping on the arm as well. Jericho showing his meticulous style, and now comes outside the ring, underneath the ring now, looking for some weaponry. And I said it wouldn't be long. And Jericho has himself a ladder, but Sheamus just drops his body weight on top of Jericho, and Jericho drops the ladder. Sheamus throwing Jericho back into the ring. Clubbing blow across the chest and a boot to the side of the head by Sheamus. Now Sheamus is underneath the ring looking for a weapon of his own. Jericho comes out, and Sheamus did have a baseball bat, but Jericho caught him just in time, and Sheamus breaks the grip on the baseball bat and drops it. Now Sheamus again underneath the ring looking for a weapon, and this time he's got a hold of one. It's a kendo stick. Swung it at Chris Jericho, but Jericho manages to catch him. And now Sheamus takes the kendo stick back off of Jericho. Who's going to get the first blow? And it's Sheamus. And I think Jericho got busted open straight away, and he is. Oh, and Sheamus just to continue in the assault to the back of Jericho. You see that one strike to the forehead by Sheamus with the kendo stick on Jericho was enough just to bust him open straight away. Tilt-a-well slam there by Sheamus on Chris Jericho. Sheamus with the elbow drop on the stomach of Jericho there as well. And by losing blood, it's going to be difficult for Jericho. The more blood he loses, the more energy he's going to lose in this match. So he knows if he's going to win this one, he needs to do it quickly now. Sheamus knows it's just a waiting game for Sheamus. As I said, the more blood that Jericho loses, the weaker he's going to become. What a huge headbutt that was by Sheamus. An elbow drop now to the grounded Chris Jericho. Sheamus back up to his feet, was underneath the ring looking for a weapon there, but Jericho caught him. And as I said earlier on, we are going to have the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE Championship next year as two separate belts. That's just going to help us use a lot more of the guys. As I mentioned earlier, there's a hell of a lot of top talent in this universe mode. So by having several championships on the go, it gives us more of a chance to use them all. Jericho throwing Sheamus back into the ring. And Jericho has that baseball bat and tried to swing it at Sheamus. I think missed him actually. Jericho back up on the apron. Joins Sheamus back in the ring. Sheamus catches him. But Jericho with that snapmare. And an elbow drop to the face of Sheamus. Sheamus back up to his feet though. Jericho with a front chancery. And not quite sure what he's doing now. Just holding that for as long as he can. Trying to probably regain some energy. But Sheamus manages to break free. And Jericho again now with a headlock, but Jericho trying to roll Sheamus over. And he does. Great ring positioning. Jericho locks in the walls of Jericho and Sheamus. Can Sheamus fight his way through this? Can he fight his way through the pain? He does. Jericho breaks the hold. Sheamus back up to his feet, and Jericho with a code breaker. And sure, this has got to be all. 1, 2, and 3. And Sheamus defeated here by Chris Jericho. And this is the part here where Sheamus just swung that kendo stick, and as you see, Jericho instantly busted open. So the continued assault on the outside. Tilt-a-well slam, and the back of Jericho must have taken some damage there. As you see here, Jericho lock it in. The walls of Jericho finally turning Sheamus over. Sheamus had enough in him to stay in it, but as soon as he made his way back to his feet, Jericho there with a code breaker. And that was it for Sheamus. He was down and out after that. And there was the 3 count. Jericho victorious. As you see, blood gushing from his forehead. But he doesn't care. He has won this match. Will it be the last we've seen of these two? I'm not sure. Sheamus actually looks quite good, actually. He's Very well detailed. I think it's going to be a lot better in the next year's game, but with his dodgy hair and dodgy beard plaits and all that sort of stuff. But Jericho victorious here. And now it's time for our main event here this evening, as Kevin Owens looks to get retribution of a Bad News Barrett in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And here we go, and of course this match stems from Bad News Barrett last night attacking Kevin Owens as Owens was making his way to the ring to compete in the fatal 4-way elimination match for the United States Championship. Bad News Barrett took out Owens backstage with 3 bullhammer elbows. That's what it took to keep Owens down. And then to add insult to injury, Bad News Barrett then went on to take Owens' place in the fatal 4-way match. Of course, Bad News Barrett was eventually defeated by Adrian Neville. Neville, your new United States champion here in the Universe mode. And that United States belt has been passed around quite a lot over the last few months. Of course, in the past couple of months altogether, I think we've had Kevin Owens, Luke Harper, now Adrian Neville, all as the holders of that belt, and just showing the amount of talent that are available on this roster. Headlock here now by Kevin Owens, back elbow as well. And I think Bad News Barrett was just disappointed in not being involved in that pay-per-view. Of course, we had the pre-show as well, which involved 3 matches. And we had the 7-match card as well, and Bad News Barrett wasn't in any of them 10 matches. He was unhappy, of course, fought for the World Heavyweight Championship at the pay-per-view before. He feels he deserved a place on the card. And instead of waiting to be given one, he went out there and took one for himself. However, it's going to be Kevin Owens here who'll be looking to gain his retribution here this evening. Owens will want a shot again at that United States Championship, don't get me wrong, but I think his immediate thoughts here are with Bad News Barrett. So this is a Falls Count Anywhere match, remember, so no disqualifications, no countouts, and pinfalls and submissions can happen anywhere in the arena and anywhere outside the arena as well. If you remember one of the old SmackDown games, you used to be able to fight all the way out into the middle of the road. Good times that was. And there's a Saito suplex on the outside by Kevin Owens. Owens underneath the ring looking for a weapon, but Bad News Barrett's back up and catches Owens unaware. Barrett throwing Owens back into the ring, and just like Owens looking for weaponry and Barrett just trying to avoid allowing Owens to grab it, but now Barrett looking for some of his own. The sledgehammer's out there, but nobody has control over it at this point in time. The referee might be wise to make that sledgehammer disappear, but Barrett going for the pin on the outside, only for a 1 count. Barrett now gets around the back of Owens. Raked to the eyes by Bad News Barrett. And now just some punches to the face of Kevin Owens. Barrett bringing Owens back up, but Owens fighting back with that big right hand. Went for the clothesline to the back of the head, but Barrett avoided it. Of course, both these guys are known for their strong striking ability. I think Bad News Barrett maybe a bit more. He's more of a brawler. But it doesn't stop Kevin Owens. He's a very aggressive man himself. Owens has a hell of a lot in his arsenal that you wouldn't think he would. He's a very strong individual, a very... What just happened? He's a very agile competitor as well. And yeah, the announce table's broken. Not quite sure how that happened, but wins a change on the outside by Bad News Barrett. That could be all here. Going in for the pin. 1, 2... Oh, Bad News Barrett hit the Windsor change on the outside, and Kevin Owens kicks out a 2. Owens still in this one. However, Kevin Owens has Bad News Barrett up and hits him with that shoulder breaker. And this could be all as well. Referee down slowly for the pin, but 2. And so close to a 3 count. Bad News Barrett with a belly-to-belly slam on the outside. Went in for another pin. Referee slides back in the ring for some strange reason. Only for a 1 count. Poor AI by the referee again, affecting Bad News Barrett's chance of winning here. Submission locked in by Barrett on the outside on Kevin Owens. But Owens using his head there. Not to think about it, no, but to use a headbutt. Again, Bad News Barrett locking the same submission in. Just pushed his knee into the middle of the back and wrenching back at the neck of Kevin Owens. And again, Kevin Owens with a headbutt taking Bad News Barrett out. So Owens got planned here. An uppercut to the back of the neck of Bad News Barrett. You see him holding his neck there. Damage could have been done. One. Only a 1 count. And again, the referee sliding back in the ring is what really slows the whole match down. And there's the cutter. Kevin Owens with a cutter out of nowhere. Referee slides back in the ring. 1, 2, and 3. And Kevin Owens picks up the victory here over Bad News Barrett, regaining some retribution over Bad News Barrett, who attacked him last night before his match. Let's see if we can find out where the announce table broke. Hopefully there'll be a replay there. No, it's going to be... Well, we're not going to get replay then, of course. Boot to the gut there by Kevin Owens. And here's a pin from that shoulder breaker. That was only for a 2 count, so close to a 3. And as you see here, Owens with the ace crusher. In for the pin. 1, 2, and the 3 count. Kevin Owens gets some retribution back on Bad News Barrett. However, I dare say this is not the last we're going to see of these two. It's only one match, and it looks like Owens is wanting more here from Bad News Barrett. Anyway, guys, that is the end of this episode of Monday Night Raw. Hope you've all enjoyed it. Of course, we've seen some very, very interesting matches here this evening. As you see Kevin Owens again up on the apron, taunting over the top of Bad News Barrett. We now know 2 of the competitors for Cena's World Heavyweight Championship at our 6-man Hell in a Cell match. They're going to be Ryback and Randy Orton. If you could like this video, absolutely fantastic. Helps me out a ton. And of course, subscribing is 10 times better, and you get a nice little buzz every time I upload a video. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching this episode, and I'll see you next time.